State Facts Podcast Morning Show. I'm your host and Brother Deen. Wake up, pour up, roll up. Let's go. Your information source for all facts. Let's get right into it. I'm just getting up, just pouring my coffee up. I think I woke up probably about 8:30. Which means I'm overworked and underpaid. How many of y'all can agree with that? Anyway, the COVID-19 virus is still very effective. Awareness is something that everybody need to have. Getting the right information. Stop the spread of this virus. China has went down in there, and people that's affected. Their numbers went down, but Indian numbers is rising up. The United States haven't met that curve yet in our decreased people that's affected. So make sure y'all stay aware, man. I'm kind of pissed about it because our government is failing tremendously. I said our government is failing tremendously. Governor Andrew of New York is pissed off with the government, and he continuously shooting shots at the White House and the president to get something done because they was affected tremendously over there, and yet and still they're not getting what they need to contain this virus. Hospitals are not allowing partners to go in the delivery room when spouses going in labor, and of course this extra stress and depression is making people probably pushing labors up, delivery labors pushing them up. What pissed me off the most is that Popeyes has opened up their lobby here in Mississippi, and I'm thinking that these greedy business owners is doing this based off the sound bites of our president. So I believe that they're doing that because the lack of care that the president have for the people, instead of just continuing to push the right agenda, and that's to stay inside and stop the spread. We talked about that yesterday on the show. Sadly, the unemployment office is not allowing people. Just say you just got a job. They're not allowing you, even though your job laid you off due to the coronavirus. They still not allowing you to file unemployment unless you meet certain criteria that you're supposed to have when filing unemployment regularly. The problem with that is some people has been laid off because of this virus. So this person who just started to get their life going again and figured they got on the right track, these people are being denied unemployment. So people with a 9-to-5, that just got their new car, just got their apartment, and this virus, it hits, and the government do not want these people to pull unemployment. To some degree, it's understandable, but overall, it's something that I can't comprehend myself, and it really got me pissed off because you telling me to put my life back on the other side of my front door, which is very harmful and very dangerous at these days and time, and go to work, yet and still you're not trying to protect me as a U.S. citizen by basically manipulating these greedy business owners to open up these restaurants for people to come in and potentially transfer a virus to those who wake up every morning to go to work to take care of their family and support their family. This is not nothing that, is to be, I don't think complaining about it to change it. I don't think not going to work will change it. Because not going to work, you're going to find yourself buried in bills. They still haven't came up with a bipartisanship yet for the stimulus relief package, which I don't think gonna happen anyway. I think that was just a smokescreen to stop everybody thinking process, because when you start talking about money, people stop thinking, and when people stop thinking, shit start to go wrong. Let's get into this, man.
Quick help. We are going to take up this bill and pass it to care for those who are now caring for us and help carry millions of Americans through these dark times. This is certainly not the end of our work here in Congress, but rather the end of the beginning. The crisis continues to deepen. There will be difficult days ahead, and the worst may be yet to come, and we certainly may have to come back and do further legislation. But we know right now, help is on the way.
State Facts Podcast Morning Show. I'm your host and Brother Deen. Wake up, pour up, roll up. Let's go. Your information source for all facts. Wake up every morning with your boy, your host and your Brother Deen. State Facts Podcast Morning Show. And we have a lot to talk about and a lot to discuss. This part of the show, I want to talk about jealousy on the work job. Okay. I don't understand I don't understand what people go to work for these days and time. Because you have some people who go to work, put their head down and work. You have some people that's overqualified for some jobs that still not knowing their situation, not knowing why they're at that job. Why they don't have a better job. Well, I'm a firm believer that God lead us on a straight path. The Most High lead us on a straight path. So if you find yourself working at a job that you're overqualified for, overworked and underpaid, you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of tolerance to deal with the people that you decide to work for. The problem with that is then when you over qualify for a job, the people that you're working with on the job don't make it any better. You have people who go to work just to get out the house. You have people who go to work because they're trying to build something and work towards something. And then you have these lazy ass people who just at work to I don't know, maybe just to receive a paycheck. Let's say that. And we do go to work to get a paycheck. We do. I'm not saying we're not. But keep your head down and do your work. Stop putting people in, every time something go wrong, you're always throwing somebody else under the bus. But every time something go right, you want to be the first one to say, hey, I did that or we did that. I hate when people say that. When they ain't do shit. And then when the question get asked, the first thing they say is, yeah, we did it. We got it done. We. The whole time, they not doing shit. So my advice to you guys who going through these same problems at work is to keep your head down and do your work. Do your duty, no matter what. Until we own our own businesses, until we work towards something for our future and our kids' future, the generations that's coming in, until we work towards that. Matter of fact, until we sow that into our hearts. That way, when we out there in the work field, it's not as effective towards us as it should be. Sometimes we get pissed off. Sometimes we get mad because what's going on. Like myself, I worked a lot of jobs where I was overqualified for, working with people who try to make it hard for me, and when that wasn't effective, they try other strategies. Yet and still, I am one of those examples of you can quiet the whistleblowers, or you could quiet those people who working up against you. And the Bible said that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And if you'll believe in the Bible, that's when you turn to your Lord and you pray. In Islam there's things called du'as for everything. You can pray anything that's going on in your life. There's a prayer that guides you and give you refuge when you're going through some of these things. Anyway, my information is still the same. Try your best to protect you and then your family and loved ones. Isolation and self-quarantine means just that, self-quarantine. So make sure you quarantine yourself. Okay? One of my subscribers left information from yesterday that we spoke about. He left the information to say, if you know somebody who you suspect of this virus, if you know someone, please pull out your mobile cell phone and dial pound 311. Again, pull out your mobile phone and dial pound 311. State Facts Podcast Morning Show. I'm your host and Brother Deen. Wake up, pour up, roll up. Let's go. Your information source for all facts.